welcome everyone and thank you for taking part in tonight's Irish Business Design Challenge Awards event. My name is Dearbhail McDonald and I am delighted to chair tonight's proceedings, and I'm also honoured to have been the chair of the judging panel for this whole programme, and it's just been such a privilege and honour to do that. In normal circumstances, we would be gathered together in a fancy ballroom or a restaurant to celebrate the achievements of all of the finalists, the runners-up, the winners, and indeed everybody who participated. I've tried to recreate the atmosphere at home, but listen, hopefully soon we'll be meeting in person. But whilst these are extraordinary times, if it were not for these abnormal circumstances, the innovative new products and services that the finalists have developed would have been redundant or non-existent at all. If you want, give us a shout out on social media. You can tag at DCCI Ireland on Twitter. You can also do that on Instagram and Facebook. And the hashtag for the awards is DCCI Design Challenge. That's DCCI Design Challenge. So what's it all about? The Irish Business Design Challenge recognises all that is innovative and resilient in our micro, small and medium-sized businesses in Ireland. As a country, we have, over the course of the past year, faced extraordinary challenges as a result of the coronavirus, none so more than our micro, small and medium enterprises who have tried their best to keep their doors open and continue to trade in the face of lockdowns, movement restrictions and all of the challenges of things like social distancing and hand sanitizer. It has not been easy. As I say, I've been so lucky to chair the judging panel, and I want you now to introduce you to the other members of the panel. Paul McKeown is Executive Director and Chief Financial Officer of Enterprise Ireland. He's also board member of the Design and Craft Council of Ireland. Charlotte Barker is CEO of the Institute of Designers in Ireland. Rita Fox is Head of Enterprise at the local enterprise office in Galway. And finally, Tommy Murray, who is a Principal Officer in the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Employment, and it has been absolutely superb to work with each and every one of them. So during the course of the next hour, we will hear from Rosemary Steen, CEO of the Design and Crafts Council, who will tell us about the awards. We will also hear, we're delighted to be joined tonight by the Minister of State from the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Employment, Damien English. He's going to be with us and speak to us shortly. The winners will then be announced in each of the three categories by Ocean Gagan from the local enterprise office, and then we will have a chance to speak to the runners up and winners, and you won't want to miss that. Finally, we're going to be hearing from one of our judges, Paul McKeown of Enterprise Ireland. So without further ado, wherever you are, raise your little toast as we begin our evening, and let me introduce you to Rosemary Steen, CEO of the Design and Crafts Council Ireland, who has put an amazing set of lights behind her there. I see, Rosemary, you're getting into the party spirit already.
Well, look, Dearbhail, we really want to celebrate all our entrants this evening. So hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight at the Irish Business Design Challenge Awards. And the Design and Crafts Council is delighted to have spearheaded this event and these awards, which we hope recognise truly everything that's dynamic and innovative in Irish business. We deliberately chose the name Design Challenge because we wanted to recognise and reward design thinking. And what is design thinking? Well, put simply, it's a process for creative problem solving. It challenges assumptions, it redefines problems and creates better products, services and processes. And it's a structured way of tackling the unknown. And nothing was more unknown at the start of 2020 than what the impact of COVID-19 would be on our businesses. And so the Design and Crafts Council, together with our partners Enterprise Ireland and the network of local enterprise offices, set in place this awards programme to recognise the thinkers, the makers, the innovators and the doers who have risen to the challenge of keeping their businesses not just ticking over, but really thriving in what has been an incredibly challenging year. And what we wanted to do was look for those ingenious ideas that businesses were willing to share that might be helpful to other businesses and challenges that are, in this dark winter that we're all facing into. And through the IBDC, we wanted to harness the ingenuity of the SME sector to help also the communities and recognise the impact, the positive impact that many of these businesses are having on their communities. We were looking for projects, products and services that were actionable in a short time frame and responded to a direct need or challenge that was faced by our enterprises. We were also looking for entries that had a significant impact with the potential to provide solutions for a range of enterprises. And it's going to be very exciting as we go through the evening because these winners come from all sectors to really recognise the impact that these businesses have had. And we did find all of this in the process. And I do just want to quickly thank our own team in the Design and Crafts Council, Liz Nolan, Shauna Sweeney, and our former colleague Louise Allen, whose brainwave this was, for all their work in setting this up. And just to say that it was a huge piece of work, but they did it really well. And I hope that the evening is a great success as a result. So on behalf of the board and the staff of the Design and Crafts Council, I want to congratulate all our entrants this evening. We have 28 finalists across 3 categories of micro, small and medium businesses. The runner-up and winner in each category will share in a prize fund of over 50,000. That prize fund is very generously sponsored by the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Employment. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce Minister of State, Damien English TD, and thank him for all his support for the awards and ask him to address the evening. Minister.
Thanks, guys. Will I jump in? Dearbhail, happy to go. Nowhere to be. Thanks for that, Rosemary. Thanks for having us in. First of all, I want to say good evening to everybody. Unlike Dearbhail, I'm afraid I have a cup here. I didn't get the glass of wine. I must have missed that. I must have missed a note at the bottom that I was allowed to have a bit of wine for this, but just as well I didn't, because we have a few more meetings later on. First of all, guys, just to say I'm delighted to join you all online this evening. I'm sorry, as Dearbhail said earlier on, and Rosemary has referred to as well, that we're not in person in a room celebrating, all dickied up. But that's the way we're living with Ireland for the last couple of months, and it's something we're all getting very used to. It's been online and spending a lot of time online. Certainly Zoom is my new best friend, but I think we're most in the same space as well. So, but look, what's more important though is that we did get a chance, that we still managed to have this opportunity to recognise your achievements and to recognise best practices, I would say, when it comes to design, and best practice when it comes to innovation. But these award ceremony tonight, it's about honouring the finalists and the winners of the Irish Business Design Challenge. Rosemary introduced this to me earlier in the summer, and straight away I knew it was going to work, it was going to be a great success, and I'm delighted that the Design Council of Ireland, Craft Council, came together to do this, worked with our department. I can confirm, Tommy, because you're there, our name now is back to Enterprise, Trade and Employment. It was chopped and changed a lot over the last couple of months, but what's most important though is that we're there to work with the Design and Crafts Council of Ireland, with the Leo offices, with Enterprise Ireland, with everybody, to support business when we can, and to try to aid schemes like this. I think it's very, very important that we do, when we can get the chance, to recognise the efforts of people when they try to pivot their business, make changes through very difficult times, through clever designs, through innovations, but through brain power. And that's what it's about, and turning your teams around, and really, I think we recognise the talents we have in Ireland, but they're in your businesses, and you're managing them and working together as well. So just to say congratulations to everyone on that. Thanks for having me along, Rosemary, for doing the awards. I want to thank Rosemary and all our team for the effort you put into this and in organising this. And I know it's been a difficult year to have events like this, and certainly with your usual kind of RDS experience, having to go online in January as well, it's a difficult challenge for yourself to be working with your usual members and usual companies, but to take time out to reach out as a council and go beyond your usual sector, to challenge other areas, to bring their designs and to showcase their designs, I think it's brilliant and it's wonderful, and I'm glad you've done that as well, and I've no doubt that we'll gain from that as well. I want to say thanks to all the judges and to all the team. Tommy, you kept it a secret that you were a judge. Thanks for not sharing who the winners were, so I wouldn't break the news tonight. But I want to say to everybody, well done, because being a judge can be difficult, and certainly trying to chair the judges, Dearbhail, I know how difficult that can be as well. So again, thanks to everybody for your time and for your effort on this as well. I suppose a couple of key points. It is important that the talent, the creativity, the enterprise that is displayed throughout the various sectors, but certainly when it comes to the design and craft sector, and you reached out beyond that this time as well. It's important that we rightly recognise that, and that we do showcase tonight with the awards, and over the last couple of months as you had the voting procedures. I think you end up with over 187 applicants out of, I think, 400 or 500 that showed an interest at the start. But that just showcases the amount of businesses that did rise to the challenge over the last couple of months and over the last year as well. I remember back in the early stages of COVID-19, a lot of local businesses were ringing in and contacting us as TDs, and I'm sure they were to all our various supports agencies throughout the country as well, with different novel ideas of how they could help. And it wasn't about making profit, it wasn't about making money, it was, first of all, how could they help? They wanted to help the local community. How could they turn their business into a different kind of business that could step in, PPE or whatever was needed at the time. And then, of course, as the challenge grew longer and we had to live with COVID for a lot longer, it was about trying to make sure the business could survive and could thrive. And we've always been saying for years about innovation is about trying to grow your business and to survive and to increase your sales. But for this year, for many businesses and certainly many applicants for this award, was about just surviving and getting through the year. But that will also lead on to many, many new opportunities. And I do remember, Rosemary, probably before your time at the Craft Council, back in the last very difficult time to hit this country, when we had the construction crash. In the couple of years following that, walking around the exhibition every year, talking to a lot of the companies that had entered the Craft Council Awards and to exhibit, and an awful lot of new companies have come through the system who had previously been in construction, turned to the craft sector. And we've had some wonderful success stories there, and I've seen them grow over the years as well. So hopefully, out of the challenge for this year with COVID, although it was a very, very difficult year and put so much pressure on so many people in business, out of that we will see a lot of new opportunities. We will see new companies, many showcased here through this awards challenge and design challenge, but also awards night. So out of that, I've no doubt we will see a lot of successful jobs created in the future as well. And that's what it's about. A lot of the work of our department is working with all our agencies to support businesses, to support that jobs challenge on an ongoing basis. And generally we're involved in working with sectors to develop them and to increase their offerings through the LEOs, through the Enterprise Ireland, through IDA and the other agencies as well, as to reach out of a development nature. But this year we've had to row in and use taxpayers' money as best we possibly could through supporting business through a very, very difficult time. And I'm glad that all of our sectors, all our agencies stepped up and were there to help and support business as well through that change. But I wanted to also recognise that I understand, and so does Thomas Leo Varadkar as our lead minister, and Robert Try, my other junior minister colleague as well. We recognise just how difficult it has been to survive this year and to try to come through as a business and try to keep your staff together. And I know, talking to a lot of business owners, even not so much trying to survive for themselves, but having to talk to staff and have that very difficult conversation that the job mightn't be there in the future, or having to lay someone off temporarily. It's not a nice place to be. And hopefully we'll come through this year and get on with next year in a positive way. But we know it's been difficult. We tried to row in there with supports wherever we could. We recognise that all the numerous supports that are out there, they're still not enough to support or to replace every lost euro. And they don't help try to meet every bill you're still left with. But I want to be clear on this. We will work with you during the month of December and all through 2021 with Rosemary in this sector and many other sectors as well. We'll work with you to adapt supports if need be and to row in behind companies that do have a success story ahead of them or behind them. I want to restart it again, because there is money set aside in next year's budget to tweak our supports, to add new supports, to work with new ideas, and for ourselves as a department and agencies to innovate as well. So we are there on that, and we will continue that work in the new year as well. It's probably important to recognise that the SME sector, which a lot of tonight's finalists have come from, and it's probably the small, medium, the micro, and the importance you are as a sector to employment in this country. I do a lot of my work mainly with the retail sector, which employs over 300,000 staff, and a lot of them are small and SMEs as well, and I'll come through some of the scheme as well. But in general, the SME and the micro business sector, it does account for nearly 300,000 companies, but more importantly, it's over 1 million jobs. And that's often missed in some of the conversations we have, just the importance of that sector. We know it and we get it, and that's why I'm delighted like these competitions recognise that and give a lot of smaller businesses the opportunity to get some airtime and to get a chance to push through and to be recognised and to see what they're doing as well. So again, just to recognise the importance of a sector, the whole design challenge and the craft challenge that Rosemary is constantly involved in. Again, a lot of opportunity there with your companies, Rosemary, and your members to expand their offering and to increase. And we've worked with you over the years to develop the skills. And I've no doubt I didn't get to see all the 187 applicants for this, and they came from many different sectors. But out of that, I've no doubt you'll find some new companies to work with on a permanent basis, and we'll find new companies to work with as well, to support as well. So again, to recognise that it is all business owners, business developers, your teams, your talent. Having previously been a skills minister, I know how important it is to develop your team and develop your talents. And again, a lot of the innovation came from trying to find a way to hold on to your team and keep your team together during this difficult year as well. So again, sometimes these difficult times do spawn on innovation as well. But I recognise that it's the important work you do collectively as a unit when you sit down around be it the company table or the kitchen table. This year, a lot of the work's around the kitchen table, and it's often online. But your teams are working together with new ideas. We can recognise them in our department every time we go out and meet companies, that we can see the skills that are developing there and the talent in Ireland. And I'm delighted we get a chance. And the judges have enabled that as well, that we've had a chance to have this competition just to recognise again what is going on in the small and business and micro business community in Ireland again. Even during a difficult year, you've managed to turn around into success as well. So again, we will try to work. I won't address on probably what's going on tonight and tomorrow in terms of trying to reduce the restrictions and make it easier for business, no matter what sector you're in the month ahead. But we're certainly, and we had a lot of discussion on this in the Shannon today and in the Dáil last few days as well, around resilience. And I think the business community of Ireland have showed that resilience, and it's been reflected in tonight's competition as well. The ability to adapt and to change and to survive, and to really put the extra few hours in again, just to get through this as well. So I'm glad we're recognising it. I will say the big part of the few months ahead, we will be trying to encourage people to shop local as best we possibly can. As part of the European single market, you don't hear messaging coming from us as a department talking about buy Irish. It'll be buy local. That's how we do it. We discussed in the Shannon today around Green Friday as well. So I'm hoping certainly for some of your sector here that are in the craft business and other challenges as well, it will be really, really important in the weeks and months ahead that we all think local, all shop local, and support local businesses, whatever sector you're in, as much as we possibly can. We'll be supporting that with advertising campaign in conjunction with the Leos in the weeks ahead as well. So just to say to everybody, well done, all the finalists, well done to all those who entered the competition. I know it was like trying to chase votes, and at the earlier stage of this, you had to chase down the votes. I hope you got your families out and got them online to vote. But more importantly, then you got through that first stage, then you had to be judged, and being judged by your peers and judged by experts with a level of experience in this area as well. So that can be difficult. It can be challenging in itself, but it's always good to challenge ourselves as well. So thanks to everybody, all those innovators, the finalists tonight, the original 187, the shortlist, all that. You put a lot of effort into this, and I know apart from just putting the effort in your business to find ideas, to change, to adapt, then to actually enter a competition takes time as well. But we need you to do that because, as Rosemary said at the start, we want to showcase your work. We want to pass the message around about what success looks like and what innovation looks like, and to use you as ambassadors then to drive others on to do the same thing as well. So it's so important to have these nights as well. So to congratulate everybody, sorry for going a little bit too long, but I hope you enjoyed the night, and I hope everybody does get a chance to celebrate in some way after tonight as well, and in the weeks ahead as well. So of course, just to say, keep up the good work, and we were looking forward to working with you on an ongoing basis in the weeks ahead. Thanks to all who helped out, and again, thank to every business who has managed to come through a difficult year. And really, I'm hoping, and I'm very optimistic for next year, we'll certainly be in a much better place. And what's important to say is, we're a department of business, but from the department of finance point of view, both Pascal Donovan and Michael McGrath are convinced, and we would agree with them, that we can trade our way out of this over the next 2 years, that jobs growth will help fund all the changes we've had to make and all the money we've had to spend over the last couple of years. So we see it as a very positive time, but we really need businesses like yourselves to continue to grow and expand and create new jobs, because that's how we will lead this country through recovery again as well. So thanks very much. Take up and enjoy the night. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. I'm slightly disappointed because I thought you were going to give us breaking news on the new restrictions there this evening. Some live news.
Ever the journalist.
I couldn't let it go. But before you go, can I just say that just in response to some of your remarks, you know, as my colleague Charlotte Barker said, that all of the projects did demonstrate the power of innovation and what business success can be achieved by design. But what was inescapable looking through all of the entrants was the motivation. It wasn't just, and some of the companies had to lay people off, and some of their big successes was retaining staff, recruiting them, and in some cases growth. But what was really, I suppose, and I'm not ashamed to say I shed a few tears reading some of the entries, was their motivation to actually help the communities, big or small, that they lived in. And that real sense was actually it was emotionally very powerful. And I suppose sometimes we're always thinking of, you know, the big companies and, you know, all the kind of the IDA supported companies. But I think that probably for me, one of the most moving things was the societal impact that all of the entrants had. And it would be well worth your time if you had it to go back and see some of these companies, because I think there are some real stars in the future.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Dearbhail. I certainly will. And I'd be happy to engage with them individually as well, because our doors are open to try to work. And I think, what I noticed before when I was in this department, I'm glad to be back in it. I'm glad to be working in this enterprise sector and with jobs and with people like Rosemary and all the teams as well. that when we were talking a lot before about the science agenda and the R&D agenda and the innovation agenda, and to be very clear, while the benefit of that, of course, is job creation and more sales, but actually most people that we came across, and it was really clear, certainly during COVID, is people want to use their ideas to help out and that root in the community. And a lot of SMEs, micro businesses, are very much that their heart and soul of our communities, they're in it and they're sponsoring all the local things as well. So they carry a lot on their shoulders. And I think it's important that our businesses, that they are those leaders, but we recognize them as that. So I'm delighted that, again, as you said yourself, that the focus was about, you know, what could they do, playing their part for the community, playing their part for the country. We benefit out of that then from jobs and everything else as well. But the service and the service and the products and the ideas are what we really benefit from, because that's what helps us all survive and continue during these tough times as well. But thanks, Jeremy. I'm going to stay on here so we get a chance to see some.
Oh, excellent stuff. And if you have any more breaking news, don't be afraid to send me a note. But
I wish it was all good news, but it'd be mostly good news.
Minister, thank you. And I see there's lots of thanks coming through for you on the chat function. But I want to introduce you now, we won't hold you back any further, to Oisín Geoghegan, who's chair of the Network of Local Enterprise Offices, and he is going to lead the presentation of the awards tonight. So over to you, Oisín, for the big moments.
Thank you, Dearbhail. Minister, English, distinguished guests and colleagues, thank you for the introduction there. So we have now come to what I think is the exciting part of the evening, if you like, the presentation of the awards. And we're going to find out a little bit more about the finalists and the overall winners then shortly, okay? I would like to thank each of the judges at the outset just for their work on the Irish Business Design Challenge, and for everyone really who's worked so hard to make this competition such a great success. If I may give a special word of thanks to Liz Nolan and Shauna Sweeney from the Design and Craft Council of Ireland, who I know have made enormous efforts to ensure the entire process ran very, very smoothly. The Irish Business Design Challenge set out to find products, services and concepts that have the potential to be game-changing. The judges were looking for businesses that may have taken a number of actions categorized into one or more of 5 areas. Firstly, they may have pivoted their business model to adapt quickly to the new economic environment. Secondly, they may have repurposed or redesigned their products or services. Thirdly, they may have developed brand new products or services to meet current and future needs. Fourthly, they've discovered new ways of working that help the business become more resilient or efficient. And lastly, they've demonstrated the ability to transfer new knowledge that impacts the wider community. So through this competition, the partner organizations want to harness the ingenuity of the micro and the SME sectors to help other businesses and communities across Ireland. We were also looking for entries that have a very significant impact with the potential to provide solutions for a range of different enterprises. So I'm delighted to report that in each of the categories of micro, in small and in medium businesses, the judging panel certainly found these qualities to be in abundance. As well as the shortlisting, almost 11,000 people voted in the public voting phase of the competition, and the businesses with the 2 largest public votes in each category are also included on the shortlist. At the end of the announcements of the awards in each category, you will have a chance to hear from our winners about how their business idea developed and what their plans for the future are. So, our first category tonight is the micro business category, which is businesses employing up to 10 staff. And Dearbhail, I'm going to hand back to you. If you could please tell us the names of each of the finalists in the micro business category.
I can, and I'm very excited to do so. So thank you, Oisín. The finalists in the micro business category are, and if you're the winner, put yourself on standby to have a little chat. But the winners of the finalists in the micro business category are Bench Space, Notions Creative Ltd, Winroy Industrial Polymers, Newfields, The Blackgate Trading as Trawgal Limited, MedScan 3D, Revise.ie, Swift Dental Lab, Livestock Live Limited, Blackwater Distillery, GastroLife Limited, Bare Essential Art of Skincare, and Exam Revision. Over to you, Oisín.
Okay, so first of all, we have the runner-up in the micro business category, and if we can do an online drum roll, I don't think we can, but the runner-up in the micro business category is Newfields from Howth in Fingal, Dublin. Dennis Mansky was at the beginning of his new business, supplying microgreens to restaurants when his customer base literally disappeared overnight when lockdown was introduced in March. So Dennis began producing home growing kits instead. And Newfield's professional standard home growing kits can be bought online, and they allow its customers to reliably grow organic, highly nutritious food in as little as 7 days. The judges were particularly impressed with the way that the business identified a new market so quickly and with the export potential of the business. So congratulations to Dennis and to Newfields. And now we quickly move along to announce the overall winner of the micro business category. And again, another silent online drum roll. The winner of the micro business category is Home by Notions. Jamie Maguire is founder of Notions Creative, a business focused on design and build of stands and sets for exhibitions and live events. So like many others, they too saw the market disappear overnight. And at the same time, hundreds of thousands of people began working from home, many of whom had no suitable workspace or indeed a room for a home office. So Home by Notions was born, and a folding desk that can be assembled in 30 seconds was designed. You may have actually seen this one recently on TV, and if Ryan Tubridy can assemble it live on the Late Late Show, I think anybody can. So what impressed the judges was how design thinking was at the core of the concept development. Once the problem of working from home and the demands that were put on available space were identified, Home by Notions focused on developing a flexible, good-looking and a durable product. So using sustainably sourced wood and repurposing offcuts showed an environmental impact awareness that also really impressed the judging panel. So congratulations to Jamie and all the team at Home by Notions. And I'm going to invite Jamie now to say a few words. Back to you, Dearbhail.
Thank you very much. I can see Jamie coming up on the screen, but Jamie, can you see us and hear us? And can you, do you want to just respond?
I can, yeah, I can see it. I hope I do this justice, but thanks a million. I really appreciate that. But yeah, the support has been incredible since we started this. I think back at the very beginning, I suppose this year we lined up a really nice year with events and exhibition stands. And obviously, when COVID hit, it kind of, yeah, we were just left in that position that I'd say everyone was here, where you just don't know what way it was going to go. You know, I was sitting there at home with my roommate, and that's kind of where the idea came. He was one of the first people to get sent to work from home. And it was just the issue we had was there's 3 of us living in the apartments, and there wasn't enough space for 3 of us to have desks set up. And we just started to look at how we could come up with a solution for it. So that's where the idea came from, and then we kind of just sprung on from there. And the support, you know, has been really, really incredible. You know, we've started to export. We've been exporting to the UK, and we just started exporting to mainland Europe. So yeah, it's been, look, it's not where we thought or what we thought we were going to be doing, I suppose, 6 months ago, but no, it's definitely been an amazing journey.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie. I'm going to be speaking to you later on, but maybe, Minister, I know you won't be able to chat to us or stay with us for the whole programme, but, you know, going from a bedroom to exporting, it's impressive, isn't it?
Dearbhail, it's really impressive, and that's exactly what we've referred to before. And we've seen it 10 years ago during the last difficult time. Companies like that completely turn around, and the opportunity there, and the added bonus that is already exporting. I mean, that's exactly what we want, and that's how we create and win new jobs in this country. So well done, Jamie, and no doubt that some of the team which as well. That makes it very important sometimes.
Yeah. Thank you, Minister.
Jamie, don't celebrate too much, because I need to speak to you before the end of the programme.
No
and I
problem.
understand, Minister, that with your commitments you may have to leave early, but so I'll just thank you before you leave.
I have to go with 8 o'clock, sorry for that. Yeah,
yeah,
but okay late, yeah.
So let's go on next. I'm going to ask Rosemary from the DCCI to tell us about the winners and runners-up in the small business category. But let me tell you who the finalists are. So the finalists for the small business category are Bensons Workwear Ltd, Top Form Limited, CF Pharma Ireland Limited, Paradigm Plastics Limited, also known as Future Plastics, Cozy Farm, Vinehill Displays, Tetratology Holding Limited, or otherwise known as Le Patissier, and Pembroke Hotel Kilkenny. Doing a little drum roll for you, Rosemary, as you announce the runner-up.
So the runner-up in the small business category is Le Patissier. So just to say, this company has been incredibly innovative. It's also the one that I follow on Twitter that makes me feel the hungriest. So just many congratulations to Robert Bullock, who is a chef who established this in 2012. And he had been hand supplying handmade patisseries and desserts to hotel, retail, food services and airlines. And like so many of the businesses, Robert saw his wholesale business disappear overnight and was forced with the prospect of having to wind up the business unless another sales avenue could be found. But he didn't give up. As an essential service, the company was able to continue food production during lockdown, and so they decided to begin selling directly to consumers, with all of the family pitching in, and that was a really important thing that impressed the judges. An online shop was set up overnight by Robert's nephew, who also photographed all the products. And Robert and his partner, when not in the kitchen, used social media to grow awareness of the business and drive sales via the website. And he basically drove and had massive support from his family in terms of them all pitching in to make the new business venture a success. So launching the online shop also meant obviously the launch of a delivery service, involved leasing 2 vans, developing a new brand identity that was consumer rather than business to business focused, and using technology to ensure efficiency of delivery services. So what impressed the judges was how Le Patissier committed itself to pivoting its business model and enlisted the support of other Irish companies to help it do so, including logistics, software, and harnessing the goodwill of its wholesale customer base to drive its sales. And the result of this has been that 3 new jobs have been created to date, and there's positive sales forecast for the future. So I want to say congratulations to Robert and all the team at Le Patissier on your continuing success this evening. So if there's a big drum roll for that, I'm going to move on then, Dearbhail, if this is okay, to announce the overall winner in the small business category. Will I go ahead? So
yes, please work away.
The winner in the small business category is Bensons Workwear from Middleton in County Cork. So established in 2012, Bensons are Irish manufacturers and suppliers of clothing, ranging from sportswear to workwear to school uniforms. When the pandemic hit, Bensons halted production of their regular stock and instead focused all their efforts on making PPE such as surgical gowns for hospitals across Ireland. Founder and designer Benny Musa worked with the healthcare professionals to design a surgical gown that was suitable for the needs of busy hospitals. In transitioning to manufacturing new products, Bensons supported local businesses by sourcing all its fabrics from an Irish manufacturer, which was really important. Sorry, just in terms of the story. So it basically was very important in terms of the local production capacity, which has gone from 400 units today to exceeding 3,000 units daily, which in turn led to significant job creation within the company. The company has also grown its export market as a result of its new products. It continues to develop new products in the field of healthcare and protective clothing and is spearheading the revival of textile manufacturing in Ireland and the retention of the traditional skills of machinists, pattern makers, cutters and seamstresses, which is so important in terms of all we know about made local. So the judges said that the impact of Benson's new ideas was what impressed them the most, as well as the contribution to the national effort to tackle COVID-19, the retention of traditional skills in the textile manufacturing sector and the growth of exports sales demonstrated a longer term, sorry, my screen has flicked. Sorry, just bear with me for a second. Demonstrated a long-term positive impact. Added to that, the company has achieved the CE quality certification, the first Irish textile manufacturer to do that, demonstrating a focus on consistently high quality production and an understanding of the potential of this certification has to grow its exports. Well done to everyone at Bensons Workwear and congratulations on your success. And I understand that we have Jess Fooey with us this evening, and maybe you'd like to say a few words, Jess.
Hi guys, thank you so much. We're so shocked. Yeah, we worked really, really hard on trying to keep the business afloat mainly and adapting to the new way of life, and it's ever expanding now. Thank you so much. We're very excited already.
Well, congratulations, Jess. No, it was great.
Thank you, Jess. And again, Jess, if you can, stay with us. And once again, I just want to go to the Minister, because one of the themes, Minister, throughout all of the entries and finalists, there was a really strong sense of giving back. So giving back, using Irish, you know, supplies. You know, it wasn't just that they were doing well; they're passing all of the goodwill down, and also just in terms of that really important thing of reviving textile manufacturing. It was a massive goal, not just for this company, which was just reviving the sector, but also reviving traditional skills with that lovely, wonderful multiplier effect that they were literally, if I can say, bringing it back home.
Certainly very impressive winner. Well done to all the Bensons, and I know you fought off a strong meat challenge there with Causey Farm as well, so you must be very good. But come here, well done, and to the Patissier as well, and to just say to Jess on behalf of your team there, again, this is exactly what we're trying to do, and it's about focusing on the skills again, but you're trying to really focus back on traditional skills. And sometimes it's about going back to basics, I think, which you're probably doing there as well. And we have so much opportunity in Ireland if we focus in on the skills we've had in the past and the skills we can bring certification, because I know from talking to other companies that can be a long drawn out process, but you've obviously got through quite quickly, which is really a positive outcome, which means that you're in the position to export, which you're doing already again, and again, that's what we really like to see, because I know from Enterprise Ireland there, the levers can work to get you ready, Enterprise Ireland, and bring you through the journey, and then Design Council to work with you. So it really is good. It completes the picture. But again, well done, because I know from listening to the earlier part of there that connection with other local businesses and and Dearbhail as well. So the knock-on effect from what you've done here, not just, I know the initial plan was to respond to the challenge of COVID and to probably protect local frontline workers, which have already aided that as well. So it's a fabulous opportunity. Well done. Great to see it.
Well, listen, Minister, thank you. And hold on, because I think you'll want to stay for the final category, and we'll get you out before 8 o'clock, because it is time to hand over for our final category this evening, and that is the medium business section. And the finalists in the medium business section are Air Medica, Quality Irish Food Limited, or Mr. Crumb, IO Systems Limited, Bulger Engineering, Keltec, the Gourmet Tart Company, and the Irish Film Institute. And I think I'm going to hand back over to you, Oisín, to announce the runners-up and the winner.
Super, thank you, Dearbhail. So, again, an online drum roll. The runner-up in the medium business category is Keltec from Waterford. So, Keltec from Waterford, before COVID-19, Keltec's factory was producing complex metal fabrications for the likes of Caterpillar, Combi-Lift, Moffett's, JCB, and other well-known brands at its Waterford factory. Like many other businesses, Keltec saw an opportunity to help the national effort to fight the pandemic, and at the same time secure the jobs of its staff in an uncertain global market. The need for large quantities of PPE created a need to dispose of this equipment safely and securely. So working with the HSE, the Business Development Director, Seamus Lawler, and the team at Keltec came up with a bin design that was very carefully thought out. The foot-operated mechanism ensured that staff didn't need to touch the bin lid. The lid itself, when closed, it was perfectly sealed, ensuring the potentially contaminated waste was secure. The lid was designed with a silent close feature, and the front opening door allowed staff easily change the bags in and out. Finally, the paint technology used by Keltec is state-of-the-art. The glossy powder paint provided an easy clean finish that lasts for years to come, and it's easy to sanitize. So the impact of Keltec's future business approach ranked highly with the judges. Up to this point, Keltec was a subcontract business producing components for other companies. So the creation of its first in-house designed product ignited a new enthusiasm for innovation in the business, which has also recently launched a hand sanitizing station that has been supplied successfully to customers such as Boston Scientific, Bank of Ireland and Irish Rail. So clearly, design thinking has become firmly embedded in the culture of Keltec, and congratulations to everyone in the organisation. So, on to the winner of the medium business category. And the winner of the medium business category is, all the way from Galway, Gourmet Tart Company. Michelle Hyland set up the Gourmet Tart Company 9 years ago on a market stall. It now has 6 stores in Galway, as well as a 70-seater restaurant selling sweet and savoury food, takeaway coffee, ready meals, salads and sandwiches. And the restaurant and the shops closed for 3 months at the start of the year during the pandemic, and the company was able to avail of the wage subsidy scheme to allow it to retain its staff, while Michelle, her husband Fintan, and head chef Damien O'Malley worked on developing the new business ideas. Their solution was to create a hamper business selling their gourmet offerings for collection and delivery. The company has turned its restaurant into a hamper workshop where they package and courier hampers daily. They have made new products specifically for the hamper market, mindful of how robust these products are and how they will travel nationwide via courier. So the head chef, Damien O'Malley, has moved from the restaurant to the bakery, and he is creating ready meals for the shops. The floor staff and the managers from the restaurant have been redeployed to help with the increased sales of new products, and they are working throughout the 6 stores and helping with the hampers. During the process, the company discovered untapped talent in its staff pool, and it now has 1 staff member fully employed, taking photos for its website and social media, and another staff member illustrating their new range of greeting cards. Former employee and ceramic artist Rachel Webb is supplying ceramic Christmas decorations for inclusion in the hampers. The judges were particularly impressed with how the business took time and space to decide what to do next, and then they found new ways to sell its products. The impact was the company was able to retain all of the jobs that were threatened due to the closure of the restaurant. But not only that, but they also hired additional people due to the success of the hamper business. So a fantastic success story. After Christmas, the Gourmet Tart Company plans to develop a range of year-round hampers. But this is not just about filling boxes. They make all of the food products themselves. This means that when a customer purchases a gourmet tart hamper, they're directly supporting and creating jobs. So congratulations to all of the team, to Michelle, Fintan, and all of the guys in the Gourmet Tart Company in Galway. And I'm going to ask, I think it's Michelle, maybe to say a few words. Dearbhail?
Yeah, let me just see, have we Michelle on the line from the Gourmet Tart Company?
Hi Dearbhail, thank you.
Hey Michelle, how are you keeping?
I'm delighted, I'm shocked. Thanks so much. And Rachel Webb will be delighted too, and the ceramicist. And you know, we just wanted to support people maybe who she might have lost out on the RDS this year, and you know, Calendar Coffee and all the people that we've included in our Hampers Irish Society, which they entered the competition in the micro section, so we have those in our hampers too. It's not just really about us, and I think that's what the year has taught us, you know, so thanks a million. I'm really happy.
And please stay on the line, because I know we're going to be speaking to your fellow winners and runners up. But just to go back to you again, Minister, you know, businesses that survive, let alone thrive, 2020 arguably should be given some sort of award. But this was a tougher competition, because at heart it was about design thinking and thinking about the end user, about being problem focused. You know, many of the business talked about how it was such an iterative process. They design things and it failed, but really the extent to which businesses diversified, collaborating, so inclusive. Does it give you hope for the future in terms of trading our ways out of the 2 big existential, I suppose, issues we face in both the form of COVID and Brexit?
Well, for a start, they're making me hungry. But I look at mince pies, Michelle, at the top of there, that picture. I'm very passionate to mince pie. But just to say to Michelle and all the team, congratulations. I think it was to Damien, your head chef as well, and to Fintan, I think it was, and Michelle, and probably many more. You're right, Dearbhail. I mean, this is a fabulous competition, first of all, to showcase all this work, but for Gourmet Tart Company to come through this year with in a plus job situation, having retained all their jobs and have created more. And I've no doubt with the combination of businesses that are in their hampers, there's other jobs being supported and created as well. And it really is a case of a community probably effort. And I think anybody that buys these hampers and supports them will be definitely supporting jobs and local jobs. As that's something I'm delighted with for a start. Number two, you're right. I think Michelle and the team here have proved what Irish business are about. They have that resilience when they get a little bit of time to think. They can sit back with their team, and again, what we're asking people to do is to look at your full team, look at your complement of staff, and see what other skills they have. And it's quite a common story in the last few months that managers and business owners have gone back in and looked at the other skills their staff have, and they've come to the front with that as well and adapted. So this is a real case of adapting the business, finding a new route to market, which can be difficult in itself. But make it, and again, you have your product, you're confident in your product, which a lot of Irish businesses are. They have the main ingredient, which is their product. And then it's just to find a new way to get it out there, to adapt to change. And we've seen it here. And I've no doubt, and I hope, Michelle, that in the very near future, your restaurants will be open again, and that your front door will be open, and you'll have customers coming in to stay and to enjoy the product there as well. But I think this is something we want to build on. I'm hoping that I'll talk to Leo later on and Robert Troy, and we'll be able to kind of use this showcase as a chance to tell other businesses, look what can be done here. A lot of opportunity. I did say it earlier, and I would be very, very hopeful and very optimistic of Ireland trading its way out of our difficult times, coming through COVID, coming through Brexit, which I know will have an impact on many as well. But with ideas like this, and people like Michelle and all our team, we can take on these challenges. We've proved it before, and I've no doubt we'll have a jobs-led recovery. And people probably missed before, but when we went from 2011 to 2016, that was a jobs-led recovery. People running small businesses, medium business, and many others came together and again at the time adapted, changed, but put their time and effort into it. And that's what we need. Ireland Inc. benefits when companies like Gourmet Tart Company put their efforts in and don't just give up, but actually sit down and think, how can we get through this? How can we add value? How can we find a new customer, a new market? But to say that you've actually turned it around and have increased jobs, it's a fabulous outcome. But just well done, congratulations, and looking forward to tracking your progress in the months ahead as well. No doubt you've had 9 busy years behind you, but I think you've definitely many years that are going to be even busier ahead of you. So well done, Michelle, and all the team. Take care.
What was really striking, Minister, about all of the entries tonight is, about joy and celebration, but the hard yards some of the businesses had to go through to retain staff, hold on to it, to grow in it. And what really struck me was it was a real sort of heroic journey, because the frank honesty that many of the businesses just talked about, the difficulty of doing that. And it was one of the things that really was very striking about it. But I want to hand back now to Oisín to, I suppose, to wrap up the awards before we go on to meet our winners and runners-up.
Thanks, Dearbhail. Yes, and indeed, I spoke to a couple of the judges as well earlier, and they actually had a ridiculously difficult job because the quality was unbelievable, and that was the consistent thing that I was hearing from the judges, that it was a very close competition, and it was a very high quality competition, which is fantastic to see. So look at that. That includes the announcements of the awards part of the evening, if you like. I just want to congratulate all of our finalists, the runners-up, the winners. I'm really proud to see so many of our clients from the local enterprise offices on the list tonight of the short list of finalists. So micro, small and medium-sized businesses, they're of central importance to our economy here in Ireland. And this evening, we are celebrating those businesses that have overcome so much over the past 8 or 9 months due to COVID-19. It's a extremely difficult year for Irish businesses, but for many, it has consequently become an opportunity to develop and reinvent. And we can see that in the quality of the candidates and the finalists and winners here this evening. So when the Design Craft Council of Ireland, Enterprise Ireland and the local enterprise offices came together to deliver this project, these awards, we were starting from the case that small businesses can make big changes. And what we have seen tonight is new products, new services. We've seen better ways of doing business, reductions in negative environmental impact, and sustainability being placed front and centre. So whilst there have been very challenging times this year, there has also been hope, there has been transformation, and very importantly, very hard work on the part of all of these businesses. Those are the principles at the heart of the Irish Business Design Challenge. So thank you all for taking part, and I look forward to welcome you all again, hopefully back next year. Back to you, Dearbhail.
Thank you very, very much. And I wonder, is it possible now to see, can I speak to the runners-up of each of the categories? That will be Dennis from Newfields, Robert from La Patisserie, and Seamus from Keltec. Do I have all three of you with me? Let me just see. Perhaps not. Do you know what? We may have just a difficulty with getting everyone up on board. So what I'm going to do, just while I check that out, is what I'm going to do is actually introduce you to my co-judge, Paul McKeown. He's the Chief Financial Officer of Enterprise Ireland. He's a board member of the DCCI, and as I say, a member of the judging panel. And Paul, will I just see where we are? You wanted to say a few words.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dearbhail, and good evening, everybody. I'm delighted to be here to, I suppose, represent both Enterprise Ireland and indeed the board of the Design and Crafts Council this evening. I think the winners and runners-up in each of the categories are just exemplars of innovation, entrepreneurship and excellence. I want to congratulate all of them who've entered, those who were shortlisted, and of course the winners who we announced tonight. I suppose we're really delighted as well to see so many Enterprise Ireland, DCCI and local enterprise office clients amongst the winners this evening also. I think COVID-19 has brought a lot of adversity, stress and disruption to businesses of all sizes and all sectors across Ireland. For many, this has resulted in unavoidable closure or significant restrictions, but COVID-19 has also been a driver of innovation and creativity. On a global scale, we've seen the speed at which vaccinations have been developed. On a national level, we at Enterprise Ireland have seen many Irish companies, particularly in the life sciences and digital sectors, innovate to respond to market needs, including, for example, a very successful COVID-19 app developed and rolled out internationally based on Irish technology and innovation. At an SME level, we've seen firms like those who we've celebrated tonight rise to the challenge and pivot their business in the midst of the most challenging landscapes and as a result of the pandemic. This is something I think that we can all be justifiably very proud of. At Enterprise Ireland, we've worked with the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Employment and our colleagues across government to develop and deliver a number of new supports to help companies reset and recover through the pandemic. These include help with working capital, liquidity grants, vouchers to help business continuity, and a very successful online retail scheme. The core focus of these supports are the businesses, entrepreneurs and teams in the micro and SME sector who didn't take COVID lying down. These are the businesses represented across the entries, finalists, runner-up and winners of the Irish Business Design Challenge. You brought fresh ideas, new approaches and a drive to maintain and grow your businesses in the most challenging of times. As we move towards 2021 and what we hope is a better year for all of us in terms of our families and our businesses, the Design and Crafts and Council, Local Enterprise Office and Enterprise Ireland will continue to support and champion you and your businesses. Finally, I'd like to thank Rosemary and the DCCI team for undertaking this great initiative. I'd also like to thank Minister English and his department for their unwavering support of DCCI, the local enterprise offices and Enterprise Ireland. So again, I'd like to acknowledge the creativity, resilience and innovation demonstrated by all the participants of the Irish Business Design Challenge and to wish you all the continued success and the best of luck for the future. So thank you. Dearbhail.
Thank you so much, Paul. And I want to, without further ado, go on to the runner-up in our micro category, and it is Dennis. Dennis, what struck me, you said, with an empty bank account and several kilos of seeds and soil needing to be used, you said about condensing all your knowledge and passion into a windowsill kit. What struck me about what you had to do during this was that massive pivot to e-commerce, which has been groundbreaking for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. First of all, thank you so much. It's just amazing to get the kind of recognition for, yeah, just it's been the craziest few months of my life. And yeah, to have all that work and the ups and downs, very, very many downs. And this is, yeah, just phenomenal to have achieved this. But yes, it's just like, this just didn't even exist. It wasn't even really an idea this time last year. And my original business was my entire kind of focus up until March. And yeah, as you said, I had bags and bags of seeds sitting there. And then yeah, my friends started asking me, oh yeah, would you mind teaching me how to grow these? I'm sitting here at home with nothing to do. So that was kind of the little aha moment. And yeah, and here we are now today. So it's just been amazing.
Well, listen, congratulations. We're thrilled for you. And let's go across now to Robert and La Patissier. Robert, I had to really restrain myself from ordering after reading your entry, lest any claims of bias or an apprehension of bias arise. But it was just mouth-watering reading your entry. But what really, really struck me was this. You really articulated the ups and downs of what happened when the coronavirus hit, and just in terms of your staff and everything, the story, it really kind of struck a chord with me. And just even that pivot from suddenly going direct to customers rather than, to businesses. In a couple of words, how could you sum up 2020?
Wow. Again, thank you. I'm delighted to be recognized. And all I would say is that day one, week one, I was actually recruiting for a new position. We had 15 staff at the time and we needed one extra. And then on the Monday, we decided we wouldn't recruit. On the Wednesday, we went to a 3-day week. On the Friday, we laid everyone off. And the following week, we said, myself and my partner and my family said, what can we do? And we flipped the business, went direct to consumer. And the rest is history. Went from, no deliveries to 150 deliveries a day. So we were delighted. And again, the support from social media. I think I'm probably here tonight because of everyone voted for us through all the networks, whether it be LinkedIn, whether it be Facebook, Twitter. They've all been really kind to us. So yeah, it's been a strange year. But listen, these things are here to challenge us. And, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I'll put the order in now. I don't feel guilty about it. Everyone, I think, I'm just going to go on to the runner-up in the medium sector, which is Keltec. And I think everybody can remember when Aer Lingus had those flights coming in from China and just how emotive that was. And whilst many of us felt sort of stunned and perhaps immobile in that first wave and seeing those images, Seamus, you looked at the news that night and called the HSE the next day with your solution. Like literally overnight, the business pivoted.
Yeah, literally overnight, 24 hours. So I think we were kind of inspired by what we were seeing in the weeks before that, where a lot of, I suppose, suppliers we would have known had pivoted their business and were, I suppose, making hand sanitizers and face screens and stuff like that. And we just looked at our machine profile. We remained open. Probably about 70% of our business stopped, but 30% was classed as essential. So we remained open. We have a state-of-the-art facility, and we were just considering, like, surely with our machine profile and our ability in the factory, there was something we could be doing. So literally just that evening that watched the Aer Lingus report just dawned on us, like the metal bins, huge amount of waste, and I suppose the safe guarding of that waste was obviously a huge consideration. So the minute we reached out to the HSE, I'd say I had an email back 2 hours later to say, yeah, we need these. This is a huge focus. We have a whole procurement team working to try and source these. What can you do? So we'd never made the product, so we just took the scope and designed and rapid prototyped and pivoted the whole manufacturing organization to supply the bins on a very short period.
Well, look, well done to each and every one. Yeah, and I have to say that you made our job on the judging panel really, really difficult. But Minister, I know I've got 2 minutes of your time left, so in case you have to leave us, just a response, I suppose, to the innovation and the amazing backstories of the runners-up of each of our categories.
Yeah, I mean, they're all great stories there, Dearbhail, and I'm not surprised. I mean, I remember years ago going on a lot of the businesses from the science agenda and meeting teams like Seamus and many others there in what they were doing, and just in a lot of our existing companies. But they were always thinking ahead, always working ahead. And I think we're very lucky in Ireland, and I said it a couple of times tonight, to have access to talent. We were very well educated workforce out there, and they're full of ideas, and it's just about getting the opportunity to develop it. And sometimes as a department and all our agencies, we're there to help. Other times it's to get out of the way. But I'm delighted that even for our last colleague there, Seamus, said that he got that response from the HSE so quickly, that he was able, that they did recognise he had something to offer and got stepped in. But many others were ready to offer. As it turned out, is the way COVID weren't always needed, but many others were ready and were there and offering as well. So we're very lucky in Ireland to have people who have that energy and the drive. But I would say again, and I understand from all the companies I listen to the stories there, the difficulty probably at the start of it, trying to sit down with your teams and maybe having to tell long-term workers or long-time work colleagues or family members, look, we don't have a job for you. And that was really, really hard and difficult to do. So in a week or two to turn around and actually say, hold on, we've new ideas here, we have a new way of doing this, and to chase up new business, it's really, really positive. And it just shows us, I've no doubt that we'll be back at full employment very, very soon in Ireland. And I've no doubt that it's small, medium, micro businesses like all you have here tonight, the runner-ups, the finalists, and many others, they're the ones that'll drive it. We're already here to try to help and encourage and drive it on. But it's important that we have a chance to recognise it, and to recognise that drive for excellence and that drive for innovation. And it all comes back down to clever design and clever and avail an opportunity, but to have the ability to see an opportunity and to think that way and to use our imagination. That's the key here, and that's what we really want to harness on, because we're lucky in Ireland that we're, in a way, we're a small country, so that means we can collaborate. And a lot of the ideas we've come through here are companies chatting together and collaborating, or just having a chat over a cup of tea and realising, hold on a minute, there's a solution here. That's the kind of inspiration we need, and that's the kind of a generation of ideas we need to build on as well. So I'm sorry I'm going to run now, but well done to everybody. Congratulations. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for staying with us. And to clever design and collaboration, I would add courage. Just the courage that we saw amongst all of these businesses. To Dennis, Seamus and Robert, thank you very, very much. If I could now welcome onto the call Jamie, Jess and Michelle, if you are all there. And I will start off with notions, with creative notions. And I just wanted, like, normally like this company at the beginning of the year lost all of its contracts. At the same time, it had taken on a new 5-year lease. And the option, I think, Jamie, was innovate or die. But you did innovate with a solution that has been critical to so many of us adapting to this new phenomenon of working from home. Have I got Jamie there? I think he's on mute. Jamie, can you unmute yourself? Okay, well, yeah, there you are, Jamie.
Sorry.
I was just saying that, you know, most companies wouldn't have survived losing all of their contracts at the same time they took on a 5-year lease, but faced with the option of innovate or die, you came up with an innovation that has been a big boost to many of us now adjusting to working from home.
Yeah, we were very fortunate. You know, like the guys in Caltech there, we had the machinery and the skill set. So once we identified I suppose the product, and it was we had the ability to produce it really quickly, and it just slotted in really nicely to our workflow. You know, the biggest thing for us was adapting to, I suppose, you know, primarily we work on one-off builds, custom builds, to then going into mass producing one-off or the same product. But yeah, it's been an incredible journey, and the support we got, you know, and the sense of community we felt was yeah, it was just amazing to see. And yeah, again, very fortunate to have been so lucky. Yeah, with how it turned out.
Now, you're all a bit shy there. Do you want to turn on your video so we can all see you and see how you're all doing? If you can. Jess, you are there, and look, you know, one of the big things, you know, was trying to source all of the equipment, trying to look all over the world, but you pivoted to provide surgical scrubs and gowns for the HSE, giving us, I suppose, a capacity now to do that, whilst also gaining critical accreditation in the process.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we have to support our frontline workers. We have to protect them. They're protecting us every day. So.
I don't know if I've lost the sound on Jess there. What I'll do is, while I'm waiting to hold on to Jess, let's go on to the Gourmet Tart Company, which also, like the Minister, made me fairly ravenous as well. What was interesting, Michelle, what you had stated was when your restaurant was closed at level 5, you felt the life and soul of the business was gone. How are you feeling about the life and soul of the business now? Do you want to take your mute off, Michelle? The joys of online awards. Yeah, we can hear you now. I was just saying there that, you know, that when that big first lockdown and when you had to close at level 5, you felt the life and soul of the business was gone. I'm just wondering, where's the life and soul of the business now that you've done this enormous design pivot?
Yeah, it's so true. I think when we closed first, we felt like we needed to, because we didn't understand the whole pandemic and what was involved in dealing with it. And then we had time to think, and this time round we decided to stay open, and our customers are gone, and they're our life and soul. So we just miss them, and it's just not a nice feeling to have a restaurant with the lights off and the tables empty. And we just pushed the tables together really and started making hampers. And it reminded me of when we started our business and how you just have to, I think, what you said at the beginning was so true, the way challenge was a word in the title of the awards, because we've always faced challenges in business, and sometimes those challenges are private because you know, you don't share them with your customers, because especially in hospitality or in retail, you feel the need to kind of have a positive outlook all the time. But when the pandemic hit, the customers realised that we were hit, and it became an open conversation. And you know, their support and their admiration just was a great help for us. And it's just a lovely feeling. And now coming up to Christmas, to have a Christmas tree in an empty restaurant, and to have boxes and hampers, just makes us feel happy. It's not always about money, you know, it's about more than that. And we're just delighted, and this is just another positive end to the year, and we're very grateful, and thank you, you know, for
and obviously one of the things that we were looking for was that you know, that sharing, and what actually the business community, what you can learn from each other, and certainly, you know, the vulnerabilities that people showed and they can share. Jamie, I just wanted to ask you, for you, was that kind of part of it, kind of sharing the story and kind of opening up, you know, must do as a great master? If you unmute yourself there, I could maybe hear you.
Apologies. Yeah, I suppose social media was a big tool in terms of sharing the story. You know, people like to see the process and you know, see what we're doing in the workshop, and you know, that gave us content to be kind of putting out on the daily. And yeah, it kind of, that generated its own kind of community as well, because you had people checking in to see what products you were working on, if you were innovating anything. Yeah, and then, you know, you could then, you know, I suppose the e-commerce side of it then as well come in. So yeah, it was amazing now to kind of go down that road, because primarily we worked with agencies, and to kind of open that e-commerce and learn from scratch, you know, was, yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Well, as for me, I don't know if I'd say yes again. It was too emotional a journey from me reading through all of the entries. It was just amazing. But I just want to thank you individually for having a chat with us. I think it was really important to hear from you all this evening. And, you know, going through the judging process, I know my fellow judges will say this, it was the entrepreneurship, it was the innovation, it was that the ideas, it was the creativity, it was the collaboration, but that also that other quality, which I think was so important, just the courage for it all. And I think what the Design Challenge has done is showcase not only the innovation, but that all of the local businesses, all of the finalists, all of the runners-up, the entries were really conscious of their need to serve the communities. And that's why we call you hero businesses, because it's been heroic. And I think all of us can think in our local communities, the businesses that have really risen to the challenge, but perhaps we're too busy or too stressed even maybe to recognize their own talents. But, you know, Jamie, as you said, it's not just about going digital or generating more sales. It is, as Michelle said, it's about responding to the needs of the community and the customers. And that is something that each of you have done with bucket loads to bear. And it's something that will stick with us, I know, on the judging panel long after this event. The event is coming to a close, but I want to thank you all for taking part this evening and for taking time to submit your entries at a very, very busy time in your professional and personal lives. I want to congratulate all the winners, the runners-up, the finalists. You are truly the best of Irish business, whether you're sole trader, micro, small or medium business. Your resilience and innovation has been a true inspiration to others, and you really should be getting your stories out there after tonight's award ceremony. So what I'll say finally is that whether you're in a big city or in rural Ireland, people have really, really reconnected with their local businesses, maybe in a way that we didn't appreciate before. We're more conscious of it this year when it comes to shopping local, buying local, supporting local. And the organisations that have come together under the banner of these awards, the Design and Crafts Council, the local enterprise offices, Enterprise Ireland, and the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Employment, they want to do their part in addressing the challenges businesses have faced this year. We hope that we in the Irish Business Design Challenge can continue to help promote your businesses, your ideas, your successes, and we wish you every success in the coming months and years. So all it says for me is cheers. Keep the conversation going. You can keep sharing your photographs wherever you're celebrating you and your team, and celebrate your success and tag DCC Ireland, but maybe not with me with a glass in my hand because it's probably not a good look. But what can we say? There we go. Congratulations everyone. Thank you all, and good night, and congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thanks for everything, Dearbhail. Good night. Good night, everybody. Well done.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.